So just starting from our extended child, taking a moment to bring our awareness to our breath here. Just giving ourselves the space and time to let our minds catch up with our bodies here on our yoga mats. It's wonderful that you've made it here. You're taking some time to nurture yourself, creating the space to move your body, to breathe. We're going to do a little focus tonight on our side bodies and some twists. The side of our body is quite often a part that gets overlooked. So tonight we're going to give it some love and just explore some space creating movements and asana to nurture and look after our bodies. So we're starting in child pose with our arms extended, shoulder width apart, and just extending our chests and our foreheads down towards the mat. Our first little exploration of our side body is going to be from this position. So we're going to simply, from our extended hands, take our left hand and place it where our right hand is, and then shuffle that right hand over to about shoulder width apart and just sink and extend through the left side of the body. We should feel from our fingertips, our left fingertips, all the way down our arms, down into our left hips. So child pose with our arms off towards the right, really feeling into that extension through the left side of our bodies. And just bringing your awareness to your breath once again here. Really feeling into the breath swell and expand through the left side of your body. No need to control the breath here. Let it flow easily. Just watch it, observe. And you may find with this awareness and this observation that the breath just naturally deepens and softens and just becomes more expansive for you. Breath is an amazing tool for soothing our nervous systems, creating a sense of well-being and relaxation. And the process doesn't have to be complicated. They can be very simple practices, like simply drawing your awareness to your breath and watching the rhythm, the natural ebb and flow. So now we're going to take our arms to the other side. So recenter your hands back at shoulder width apart in front of you. And then just moving that right hand to where the left hand is, and then moving that left hand out about shoulder width apart. So now we're stretching and extending through the right side of our bodies. And just feeling into the breath as it swells through the side, through the obliques, through the gluteus medius on the side of your hip, through the ribs and the intercostal muscles, all the way up through the arms. Get a nice shoulder stretch through there too on that right side. Just letting that breath naturally flow. We'll take 3 more deep, beautiful big breaths here. Letting them naturally deepen without force. And then whenever you're ready, just centering your hands back onto your mat, and then coming up to your hands and knees. So planting our hands in that position where we're on all fours, hands underneath our shoulders, knees are underneath our hips. So we should create a nice little rectangular shape through here, here and down. Feet relaxed on the mat. And we just might just take a minute through the feet, just waking up. Massages into the calves a little. And then just letting that go. And we're just going to move through our dancing bear. We're going to just start moving. You can close your eyes if you want, and just starting to rock and shift the weight over our hands, over our knees, making circles, starting to make S shapes, whatever feels good for your body tonight. Really feeling into any pockets of tension, moving the head with the movement if it feels good. And just having that awareness of your side body in this dancing bear too. I quite like doing almost like a wagging the tail movement, like an S shape through the torso, moving the shoulders and the hips from side to side, creating length. And you can turn your head with that movement too, just to feel into the side of your body. You can let your head hang down as you move, or you could look gently up, just exploring your own range of movement, revisiting any movement that feels good. If you're circling, moving both ways, and then just coming back to the center, and we'll just move through a few rounds of our cat-cow, our Beetalasana. So we're going to start the movement at the tailbone. The tailbone is going to turn up towards the ceiling as we expand and lengthen through the front of our body, broaden through the chest, and if it feels good, just gently lift the chin, lengthening through the front of the throat. And then we're going to initiate the counter movement from the tailbone too, drawing that tailbone under, rolling through every vertebrae as we tuck our chin last. And just starting to move with the breath. So we're rolling and extending up into our cow, lifting the chin with our inhalation. And as we exhale, we tuck the tailbone under as we arch into our cat, tucking the chin last. Keep on moving with your own breath at your own pace, synchronizing your movement with your breath. Really trying to feel into the movement of each vertebrae as we roll through the spine with each part of the movement. And then just relaxing that after your next exhalation. And coming back to a neutral position with our hands underneath our shoulders. We're going to do a little twisting movement that will land into a nice twist for our upper spine. But first we're going to move. And we're going to draw our right hand up towards the ceiling, extending into the fingertips. We can look up if it feels comfortable, or keep the head in that neutral gaze towards the floor. And then we're going to draw, scoop our hands under and up and look to the other side of the room. So drawing that elbow back up and around and scooping under. Once again, we can move with the breath. We can breathe in as we open and expand through the side of our body, and breathe out as we move our arm up and around. Just feeling into your own range of movement. Once again, synchronizing movement and breath. Breathing in as we extend up, and out as we curl that arm under and around. Let the gaze follow if it's comfortable. Breathing in as we extend up. This time as we breathe out, we're going to scoop that arm under, and then we're going to lay it on the ground, and we can bring our shoulder and the side, right side of our head down towards the ground. We can tent our fingers, draw that left shoulder back a little if it's comfortable, experimenting where that hand feels good here. Might feel good a little bit further forward. And just really feel into that twist in the upper part of your spine. Let that right shoulder sink into the floor. Try and relax through the hips and pelvis. And keep your breath flowing. Using the breath to soften and extend. One more deep, big, beautiful breath here. And then breathing out. Just coming back to center. We'll breathe in and sweep that arm up one more time. And breathe out. Plant it back down. And just moving to the other side now. Breathing in as we lift that left arm up, open out through the chest, breathing out as we bend at the elbow and scoop that hand under, turning the head if it's comfortable. Breathing in, extending the arm up, stretching through the front of the body, breathing out as we draw that arm under and around. Moving with the breath, breathing in, as we extend, breathing out as we scoop and thread that needle. Take a deep breath in and extend. This time as we breathe out, we're going to scoop and we're going to lower that left shoulder down towards the floor. Left side of the head to the floor. Tent those fingers, draw that elbow up, shoulder back if you can to extend into that spinal twist. Feel free to play around with what feels good. You can have your palm on the ground if it feels better. But tented fingers sometimes just give you a little bit more leverage. And just let the breath soften and create space. Take another big, deep, beautiful breath in, swelling into your torso and breathing out. See if you can find any more space for the twist. And then just coming up and taking one more deep breath in as we arch up and breathing out, planting that hand back down. And then just coming forward and lowering your body down to the ground. We're going to come to our Sphinx, and then we're going to have a little play with Cobra, which is both back bends. Sphinx is a lovely pose to do, just to gently extend and explore the beginnings of back bends if you haven't done many before. So what we're going to do to set ourselves up here is we're going to make sure that our elbows are directly underneath our shoulders, shoulder width apart, hands planted beautifully, fingers spread on the floor. And we're going to actually create just a little bit of pressure through our lower arms and through the palms of our hands and every fingertip. We're going to almost like try and push the floor away slightly. We're going to broaden through our chest and draw our shoulders back and down, shoulder blades towards each other. Feet are a good hip width apart or mat width apart if it's more comfortable for your lower back. Head doesn't have to be where mine is at all. In fact, it's often more comfortable to create more length in your spine by just having your eyes kind of gaze out to a space just in front of your hands somewhere. And just continue to press down through your elbows, press down through your palms, broaden through your chest, and create a beautiful curve in your spine, opening out, creating space in your chest. Try to just bring your awareness to your lower abdomen and your breath at the lower abdomen. Feel it swell on the inhalation and soften on the exhalation. You can imagine your hips pressing down into the ground here as you try and relax through your lower back, softening your glutes. Often in these back bending positions, we turn our glutes on and we squeeze. What we're trying to do here is actually soften. It's a natural response to kind of protect and support the lower back to turn those glutes on, and quite often they never actually fully turn off. But what we're trying to do is just bring our awareness to them and almost like a dimmer switch, just try and dial those glutes down a bit, just creating a little space and a little relaxation through that sacrum area and your lower back. Now you're welcome to stay here in Sphinx. Otherwise, we're just going to have a little play with some baby cobras, which is just a little further extension of back bend from this position. So what we're going to do here is actually bring our hands towards the space underneath our shoulders, and in a similar way have our palms beautifully spread, the weight over the entire underside of the hands. And we're going to initiate the movement through the muscles of the back rather than pushing off the hands. Our elbows are tucked in towards the side, and to begin with, we're just going to start by just gently lifting. Squeeze those elbows in. Try and stay as relaxed as you can through your lower back. It doesn't matter how high you come up here. We're just wanting to keep our shoulders back and down, our shoulders drawing in towards each other, elbows drawing in towards the side of the body, and actually engaging the muscles of the back rather than pushing up through the palms and using the arms as struts. We're actually trying to create that strength through the back, the support through the back, and the hands just help guide us into position. We can look up slightly and out in front of us. We can explore extending slightly further. You can actually move with this if you find it really intense as well. Just lowering in and out can be really nice. Just have a play, feeling into your back bend, what feels good for your body. If you're moving, you can breathe in as you extend up and breathe out as you lower. Or feel free to explore the stillness or come back to Sphinx. And then letting this go. And we're going to move into a little relaxation pose on our tummies that is a nice extension through our side body. It's called flapping fish. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring our palms one on top of the other. You can move. We're going to stretch through our right side of the body first. So we can move our elbows just slightly off to your left side. And then we're going to bend our left knee out and draw that up towards the elbow. It won't touch. And then we're going to lay our heads, right side of the head, down on top of our palms and relax here for a moment. Have the eyes closed and just remain in flapping fish, just feeling in to the breath and the support of the floor, letting your body sink and relax with every exhalation, feeling completely supported, letting your spine recalibrate after those exploration of back bends. Feeling that beautiful sense of relaxation on the exhalation. And then just coming back to the center, straightening that left leg, straightening the torso. And then we're just going to move up into Cobra one more time. And we're going to do that with a twist this time. So just bringing your hands back under your shoulders. And we're just going to breathe in and extend up. And as we breathe out, we're going to turn and look slightly over our right shoulder, just within your comfortable range of movement. Breathing in back to the center, breathing out to the left side. Breathing in back to the center, out to the side. Breathing in and out. Once more to each side, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in to the center and out to the side. Take a deep breath in back to the center, extending and breathing out as you gently lower yourself back to the floor and take flapping fish on the other side. Swap the sandwiching of the palms to the other hand on top. Move those elbows and arms out towards the right side. Right knee comes out to the side. And you're extending through the left side of your body as you lay the left side of your head down on top of your palm. Close your eyes and just bring your awareness back to the breath. Letting the breath naturally deepen and soften. Letting your body feel completely supported by the floor in this beautiful relaxation pose, flapping fish. And then just letting this breath awareness go and just gently centering your body. And then pushing yourself up, back to all fours. And we're just going to bring our left leg out to the side here. We're going to have a little exploration of gate pose. So our left foot should line up with our right knee, out to the side. Come forward a little so you can hear me as well as possible on a Zoom call. So this foot here, it doesn't have to follow the line of your leg. You can actually just angle it in slightly, not all the way around, but just a little angle so it feels nice and comfortable. It's not such a strain or not creating any cramps or intensity through that foot. It's not really what we want to be focusing on. Now last week, I don't know how many of you were here, we did sometimes use props or could use a prop here. If you have a book handy, you may not need it, but if there is a book handy, a reference book or a cookbook, you could grab that and have that handy if you need it. Place it off to the side actually. But you may not need it because we can use our tented fingers too. So we're just going to explore this gate position. And this is another lovely side body stretch. So we're going to take a deep breath in, raise our arms up. And as we breathe out, we're going to stretch through the right side of the body, bring our left hand wherever it lands on the legs, and just let that arm fall and gently extend over. Just let the breath naturally flow. Just feel into that beautiful stretch all the way from your right knee up the side of the body to the right fingertips. Try not to draw that shoulder up in towards the ear. Keep it plugged back down into its socket and just have that arm nice and soft, just gently extending. You may find as you explore this pose that you're able to slide the hand a little bit further down the leg. You may not want to rest a lot of weight onto your knee joint. Just explore where it feels good for your hand to land here. You can draw up through the quad to bring strength to that leg and just feel that extension down into the left toe as well. If your neck needs a little respite, you can always turn your head and look down towards your left leg. And taking 3 more big, beautiful breaths here, really feeling into the side stretch and the right side of the body. Keeping the chest nice and open if we can. And then just drawing up on the pelvic floor as we bring ourselves back up to center. Now we're going to do a counter movement from here, which this was the traditional gait, but this counter pose actually feels quite nice, and I actually prefer it to going over the leg. You may too. You can just have a little explore. So we're going to breathe in and extend up through our arms again. As we breathe out, we're going to bring our hands down and just either tent, lean over into that arm, or if you want to use a book, you can just make yourself a little bit higher as well. And we're just going to feel into that whole diagonal, right from the left toes all the way up into the left fingertips, creating a beautiful line all the way through the left side of the body. Once again, if you need to, you could turn your head and look towards your right hand. Otherwise, straight ahead is fine too. And from this position, we're just going to do some lovely shoulder rotations, a multitask here. So just making circles backwards with the arms, just exploring your range of movement. Big, beautiful circles. We'll do 5. Take 1 more. And then bringing that arm back to that diagonal whenever you've done your 5. Take another deep breath in here, extend through the fingertips, pointing down into the left toes. And breathing out just releasing. Drop on the pelvic floor as we come up and out, lowering the arms. We'll move from this position into a forward bend from here. And what we're going to do is just turn our toes in, so the outside edge of that left foot is parallel with the outside edge of the short edge of your mat, right by it. And then we're just going to simply push our hips back a little as we bring our hands down towards the mat in front of us. We can have tented fingers, we can lay our palms down, or if you've got space, you can bring elbows down towards the mat and just extend and explore the forward bend from this position. The breath is really an amazing tool from here, from any forward bend. They can be challenging for everybody at every level. Just use that exhalation to soften and expand and create space, even if it's a millimetre or just more of a sense of softness in the pose. Just keep on using that exhalation to soften and extend. I'll just demo it from the side too. So those hips can kind of bend slightly back towards that heel. Take 3 more big, beautiful breaths in here. Really feeling the breath expand through your torso and really feeling that sinking, beautiful depth with the exhalation. And then just whenever you're finished your third breath, just pushing yourself up and drawing that knee back in. And then we're going to step that left foot forward into our lunge position, our low lunge. And we're just going to come forward here and just sink through the hips. Make sure that foot is up between the hands and make sure our hips are nice and parallel with the front edge of our mat. We're not swiveling it all through the pelvis. We're staying nice and centered and straight before we explore our full depth. So we can stay here if this feels good, sinking through the hips, or we can draw our hands onto our knees and come up to a more upright position. And we're going to take a deep breath in here, and we're going to twist from here. We're going to twist towards our front leg, so bringing that right hand to the outside edge of our left knee. And then we're going to bring the hand behind, and you can take hold anywhere along that back thigh. Now, if it feels good, you can also turn your head and look back over your left shoulder towards the back of the room. Deepen the breath here, and we'll just take 3 beautiful breaths here in this twisting lunge. And then just coming back to center, planting hands either side of your foot, your front foot, and then we'll just do a gentle hamstring stretch from here by straightening that left leg and pushing our hips back towards our heels. It won't go all the way down, and then just feeling in to that stretch through the back of the left leg. Toes can come up or point downwards, whatever feels good. Keeping our spine beautiful and long here, supporting our body as much as we need to with our hands either side, tented fingers, or if you want to, you can start to have flat palms on the floor, aiming elbows down towards the ground. Lower the head, feel that length through the back of the neck. 2, 3 deep breaths here. And then just bending that left knee, coming forward again into the lunge, and then stepping that left foot back, coming back to your knees. We'll just move to the other side. If you do have a prop handy, just move it to the other side. And we're going to move through our gate, side extension, extending through the left side of our body this time. That heel lines up with our knee. The foot can travel in on a slight angle just to create space and comfort there. And then we're just going to draw our arms up on an inhalation. And as we breathe out, just lean our torso to the side and bring that right hand down towards the leg, thigh or shin, and just extending and expanding through the left side of our body. Really staying nice and open and broad through the chest. We're not trying to twist forward, staying really beautifully open through the chest and through the upper back in quite a neutral position. So we're not twisting open, we're not coming forward, staying nice and neutral, and just really focusing on the side of our body. Keep that shoulder plugged into your joint, so we're not letting it draw up and close into our ears. We're keeping that nice and strong and supported too, and just create a little bit of softness through the arm. And 3 big beautiful breaths here. Really feeling into the breath in that left side of your body. Swelling the left ribs, the obliques. Feeling the stretch from knee to fingertips. Getting a beautiful curve. And then drawing up through the pelvic floor as you take another deep breath in, coming back to center, and we're going off to the other side and lowering that hand down. Prop it if you need to, or tented fingers, and just bringing that arm to a nice diagonal from toes, right toes all the way to right fingertips. And we're going to do those lovely big shoulder rotations as arm circles from here, moving backwards. 5 big beautiful circles. Exploring your range of motion. They can be smaller if need be, if that feels good, or we can really explore into every space, make really big circles, whatever feels good for you. And then just coming back up to that diagonal. And we'll take one more deep, beautiful breath here. And breathing out, really extend into that diagonal from right toes to right fingertips. And then just drawing up on the pelvic floor as we come up. And breathing out, relaxing the arms down. Taking a moment just to reposition that foot, turning the toes in so the outside edge of the foot is parallel with the outside edge of the mat. And we're just going to let our hips push back slightly as we come forward. Doesn't matter where we land here. Tented fingers, quite upright, just where you feel that stretch through the hips, through the inside of that right leg. If there's more space, you're welcome to Bring the palms to the floor and walk them forward a little bit and aim the elbows down towards the floor. Let the head relax in a neutral position. Have the back of the neck nice and long. And just use the breath as a tool. Once again here in the forward bend. Beautiful, deep, full breaths. Using that exhalation to soften and extend into your forward bend. Creating space perhaps, or softness. Reducing the intensity with that breath. Taking one more deep breath in here. And as you breathe out, just see if you can sink a little further, soften a little more. And then just pushing yourself up, drawing that knee back in. And drawing that right foot forward, getting it right up in between your hands and beginning to sink forward through the hips. Just taking that time just to position your hips so they're not swiveling off to either side, drawing that left hip forward as we sink. Feel free to stay down here in a low lunge, or if it feels good, coming up, and we're going to move to our little twist from our lunge position here. So taking a deep breath in, lifting arms up, extending up into the fingertips. As we breathe out, we're going to twist to our right side, bringing the back of our left palm, but left hand to the outside edge of our right knee. This hand can come anywhere along, it can wrap anywhere along, or just rest on the back of our left thigh, or it could even tuck around the waist if that feels good. And just turning that torso towards the right side while maintaining that stability through the pelvis. If it feels good, you can turn your head and look back over your right shoulder towards the back wall. And begin to deepen the breath. You can run your awareness all the way up your spine, from the tailbone up into the neck, feeling the twist. And then if it feels good, you can let your head come forward first, and then we'll just unravel ourselves, bringing our hands back to either side of our right foot, and then just coming back into that hamstring stretch, letting the toes come off if it feels good, or have them down if that feels good to you, and just gently extending those hips back towards your back heel, lengthening through the spine, and just taking a moment here. 3 big, beautiful breaths. And then just bending that right knee, sinking the hips forward again, just resetting, and then bringing that right foot back. And then just coming to a squatting position. Feet a good mat width apart, heels off the floor, on the balls of your feet, feet at an angle, just to keep soft through the knees. We're just going to spend a moment here moving in and out of a squat position and up to a forward bend. So we're going to move with the breath. We'll do the first one without, but we're basically going to keep our balance to begin with our hands out in front, tented fingers. Put as much weight as you need to into your hands to support you in the squat. If you feel like there's more space, you can begin to aim the heels towards the ground and put more weight into your legs. But to begin with, you quite often need to lean quite forward and have those elbows on the inside of the knee if that works for you and your body. So we're going to take a deep breath in. And as we breathe out, we're just going to start to straighten our legs and lift our hips, keeping a soft bend in the knees and hanging forward with the exhalation. With the inhalation, we're going to come back down to a squatting position. And as we breathe out, we're going to come back up to our forward bend. Breathing in as we lower to a squat. Breathing out as we straighten our legs. Keeping the knees as soft as you need. Breathing in, lowering into a squat. And then once more, straightening the legs, heels to the ground, and just extending into your forward bend. You can move your feet to parallel, shuffle them in, take hold of your opposite elbow with your hands and just hanging down into a forward bend. Keep on softening through the knees if you need to, create space in the lower back, using that breath to soften and extend. You can rock from side to side, moving the elbows from side to side in your hanging position. You can nod and shake your head just to explore range of movement in the neck. And then just using a few breaths, taking your time, using your hands for support if you need to on your shins or on your thighs. Just take your time to restack your vertebrae, coming back up to a standing position. When you get to the top, we can raise our arms up, touching palms overhead, and breathing out as we lower them back down. And from here, we'll just do a nice little moving balance pose. So the nice little intro to balancing. It's from our mountain, which is normally with our soles of our feet on the ground, our arms hanging out to the side. It's almost like a standing relaxation pose. But from here, we're actually going to interlock our fingers and we're going to move our arms. We can bring the toes. You can experiment with where you have your feet. Some people prefer them hip width apart, or others find it easier for this little balance to actually have them closer together with your toes kind of touching, heels slightly apart. Just see what feels good for you. We're simply going to move with the breath. As we breathe in, we're going to bring our interlocked fingers and we're going to flip them round and we're going to extend up. And as we do that, as we move, we're going to come up onto the balls of our feet and tippy toe. And as we breathe out, we're going to lower back down, turning the hands back over and lowering them down. Simply moving up and down with the breath, aiming to pause at the top if we can, but it's no problem if we wobble or if our heels only come a centimetre off the ground. Just have a playful and easy approach to balancing poses because we often have wobbly days. I'm going to play with another one after this too, but let's just start here. Taking a deep breath in, raising our arms, flipping them over, coming up, extending, and breathing out as you lower. Finding a drishti or focus point can help with balance as well. Breathing in as we come up. And out as we lower the heels back down. Keep on moving with your breath. Aiming to pause at the peak. Keeping the heels off the ground for as long as possible. Ideally, if we can, we lower our heels back to the ground as our hands come back to the low position, but that doesn't always happen. It doesn't for me, that's for sure. Just keep on moving with the breath, coming up and down, having that focus point to help you balance. One more at your own pace. And then we're just going to move into a pose that is sometimes called chair or sometimes called intense pose. So what we're basically going to do is we're going to do the classic intense pose or chair, and then we're going to add a little twist into it, which also will extend through our side body. So I'll do this one from side on. And it's good to take your time with the setup of this because there's lots of little pointers that can really help you engage fully with this asana. It can be quite strong. It's a squat essentially. We're going to lower and sit back as if we're sitting on a chair. We're going to glue our knees together and have our feet tucked in. Not hip width apart and next to each other. And then we're going to try and tuck our tailbone under slightly so we lengthen and create space in the lower back. We don't want to stick our butts out here, we want to actually tuck them, curve them under slightly as we sink down. And then we're going to raise our arms up. So our arms should be in shoulder width apart. And we can have them in like a V, our hands V'ing out to the sides and just sinking back and down. You don't have to go very far to start to feel the intensity. You can push those knees together as you sink and just draw up and support your lower back with your abdominals at the same time. Keep the back of your neck nice and long. We don't need to look up to the sky here. Just trying to create a beautiful long spine as we sit back down and create that intensity through the legs. Take a deep breath in here and breathing out. See if you can sink a little lower. And then breathing in, coming up and breathing out, relax the arms. And do that with a little side twist. The pointer for that is to really keep your knees together as you twist. It's really easy for one knee to kind of pop out. We're going to keep that nice strong base through the lower body. So we'll take another deep breath in, sitting back into our chair. And this time, similar to our twist from the lunge, we're going to bring the left hand to the outside edge of the right knee. And we're going to bring our right hand to our sacrum, our lower back, just above the tailbone. And then turn the head and look back out over that right shoulder. Keep on sinking through the hips, creating space through the lower back, drawing up through the abdominals, squeezing the knees together, not letting that left knee pop forward as we extend and twist. And take 3 big, beautiful breaths here. And then breathing in, sweeping your arms back up to center and straightening the legs, lowering the arms with the exhalation. Moving to the other side, breathing in, sweeping your arms up, extending back into your chair, and then twisting. Right back of the hands comes to the left knee, left hand comes to the lower back, bent elbow, and just extend and twist, looking back over your left shoulder. Keeping those knees glued together, space in the lower back, sinking back, twisting through the upper body. 3 big deep breaths here. Then coming back to the center with an inhalation. And breathing out, relaxing the arms. And coming back down to your mats. Find yourself a comfortable seated position. We're just going to move into a little bit of breathing before we have a little relaxation. So if you want, you can grab yourself a cushion. You're welcome to sit with your legs crossed or your legs out to the front. Anywhere, legs anywhere that feels good and keeps your spine nice and long and supported, chest broad and relaxed. We don't want to have any unnecessary tension or pain in the body here. Make yourself as comfortable as possible. I'm going to move forward so you can hear me as well as possible. And just close down your eyes for a minute. Your breathing might still be a little quicker from our chair pose or intense pose. Just watch it, observe. No need to control, just watch as the breath settles back in to a more steady pace. Bring your awareness to any sensations in the body, any feelings of tingling, energy moving, openings. We've created a whole lot of beautiful space in the side of our bodies. We've twisted in a number of different ways. Twists are amazing for our organ function, our digestive health, as well as our spinal health. That twisting movement can really squeeze various organs, and that squeezes and releases and encourages circulation. So we've done lots of really lovely things for our body tonight. The breathing practice we're going to do tonight is called Bhramari, sometimes called the hummingbee breath. It's a breathing practice where we make a noise, which sometimes when you start yoga that can feel a little intimidating, but you're in the perfect position, the comfort of your own home with your mics on mute, where you can really have a little explore and a play with this practice. It's a lovely simple one, can be a wonderful breathing practice for releasing any tension, anxiety, and just create a lovely sense of well-being when practiced regularly. So it's very simple. We're just going to make a humming sound with our exhalation, and we're going to close our ears slightly with a little bit of light pressure. If your eyes are closed, just have a quick look. We're going to use our 4 fingers just to take this little lobe here and just press that in slightly to close our ears. That just helps a sense of increased awareness of the hum in your head and in your chest and your body. It really internalizes the sound. So I'll just demonstrate it, and then we're just going to move into a few rounds, and we're going to do it at our own pace, at a comfortable breath for you. It really encourages extending the exhalation, but just follow the natural path of your breath with it. So I'll just demonstrate. Just take a lovely, relaxed, deep breath in. Bringing the hands up, closing off the ears, and as we breathe out, we simply hum. And we just keep going with that. So just at your own pace, you can have your eyes closed and just take a few moments to have a think and to just have an awareness of your breath, and then just begin the practice of humming out the exhalation. Brahmari, the humming bee breath. Really feel into the sensations of the hum all through your head and torso. Just feel the vibrations and the sense of relaxation that brings. After your next exhalation, letting go of the Brahmari pranayama, the humming bee breath. Letting go of this practice and just sitting for a moment, eyes still closed, hands relaxed in your lap or on your knees, and just once again tuning into any sensations, anything you feel in your body. Any sense of internal movement of energy, any tingling, any warmth, any vibration. Just watching this, observing. And then just at your own pace, just coming to lie on your back, on the floor in Shavasana. Lying on your back with your spine nice and long, arms out to the side, palms up, thumb and forefinger joined if comfortable. Legs relaxed, least hip width apart, feet falling out to the side. You can pick up your head, lower it back down with a nice long neck. And always remember you can choose a different variation for your legs if you need to. If your lower back needs a little love, you can bring the soles of your feet to the outside to rest on your mat, outside edge of the mat. and have your knees tented in towards each other. So just bent knees, feet on the mat, mat width apart. It just will create a little bit more space in your lower back. And then just bringing your awareness to the breath. Breath at the nostrils. Just watching the natural flow of breath in and out and beginning to observe the coolness of the breath as you breathe in and the warmth of the breath as you breathe out. Just watching this natural, even flow of the breath in the nostrils. Cool as you breathe in, warm from your body as you breathe out. No need to try and control the breath, just beautiful, easeful, yogic breaths, just with the awareness of the breath at the nostrils. And then moving your awareness of the breath down to the throat, to the trachea, and then further down to your chest. Feel the breath swell your chest, swell your shoulders. With the inhalation, feel a softening and a relaxing through the chest and shoulders with the exhalation. Moving your awareness on again, this time to the side body, feeling into your ribs, little muscles between your ribs, intercostals swell with the inhalation and soften with the exhalation. Feeling into the side body. And then moving your awareness to your belly, your navel. Feeling beautiful, soft, deep belly breaths at the navel. Rise and fall of the breath. At the navel. Feel with every exhalation your body softening, your body supported completely by the floor. No need to hold on to any tension. If there's any tension in the body, send or visualize your breath moving towards that tension and just use your exhalation to soften or imagine the softening with that exhalation. And then just letting this awareness go, letting it go and just feeling back in to your whole body, your whole physical body on the floor. Taking some small movements to begin. Little wiggle of fingers and toes, rotation of wrists and ankles if it feels good. Hug the knees in if that's something you'd like to do. Drawing the knees in towards the chest. Little movement of the knees, little circles, massaging into the lower back. And then just stretching the arms up and extending the legs out, pointing into the toes. Taking a deep breath in And as you breathe out, continue pointing into your fingers, but draw your toes back, extending down into your heels. And then just relaxing, rolling off to the side in your own time. Take a moment, pause on your side, and just bring to mind something you feel grateful for in your life. Take a moment to acknowledge this. Take a moment to acknowledge yourself for creating the space for yourself to practice and explore your yoga. Nurture yourself, look after yourself. And then just in your own time, pushing up, keeping the eyes closed if that feels good for you, coming up to a seated position. And we'll just take one deep breath together. Hands in prayer position at your heart center. And then we'll take a big, beautiful breath in, sweeping the arms up, touching the palms overhead, drawing a line down the center of your body as you exhale back to prayer position. And relaxing all efforts. Namaste. Thank you everybody for joining me. Fingers crossed we'll be back at the hall next week. Take care, look after yourselves, stay safe and well. We'll see you soon.